This is Jamie from Stonemeyer Games, and today I'm going to talk about one of the most important tools to any future Kickstarter creator, and that is the e-newsletter. Having an e-newsletter as a place for people to sign up to learn more about your product or your company or yourself at some point in the future when that information becomes relevant is incredibly important. At any point in time when you start talking about your product or your company or whatever you're making, if people don't have a way to sign up right there at that moment, or a few minutes later at the very most, then they might just forget about you. They may never come back. They may never hunt you down to find out more information about it. But if you can get their email address and put it and sign them up for an e-newsletter, and by that I mean if they opt into the e-newsletter, you can't just sign people up randomly. If they opt into the e-newsletter, then at some point in the future when you have important information to share with them, you know that they're going to get it. This is more important than a Facebook page, it's more important than a YouTube channel or any of those things, because you don't always know if people are going to get that information. With your Facebook feed, you don't get all the information from all the pages. With YouTube channels, you have to go out of your way to look at your subscriptions on YouTube, whereas an email is always going to go to the person's inbox. They're always going to get it. Even if it's in their promotions folder, at least you know it went to them and they might look at it at some point in time. A few quick tips for those of you who already have e-newsletters. I highly recommend writing in the first person. Write just as a person, not as a company. Don't write as a we, write as an I. And be personal. I try not to be too stodgy with my e-newsletters. I try to share as if it's just me, Jamie, talking to one person. I usually try, well actually I don't do this all as well, but I recommend that you create a compelling subject line that draws someone into the e-newsletter so that when they see it in their inbox, it's not just update number 242, it's update 242, and this is the big thing we want you to know in a few words so they're compelled to read more. And last, I suggest that you send the e-newsletter on a regular basis, but not too often. Usually I think that amounts to every 1 to 2 months, or whenever you have really, really important and urgent information to share. If you start sending out that e-newsletter once a week, even once every 2 weeks, it can get to be too much and a person can just get used to trashing it or ignoring it. On the other side, you don't want to send it out on an irregular basis because then oftentimes you're pushing a ton of information into one newsletter instead of spreading it out into bite-sized chunks. That's it for your newsletters. Also, I recommend MailChimp. MailChimp is the service I use. There are many other good services out there, but I've had a great experience with MailChimp. Thanks.